Big cap, Don Marino, heavy sombrero. He lack knowledge, I bet he a scarecrow. Something deadly a Edo. If it ring, get low, rider, and he go
But we was never friends. Show up to Harlem looking for your crib. You better let me in. Masked up, gloves on. I work in medicine. Show up to deluxe apartment in disguise like the Jeffersons.
So you got to get shot with the cannon. I gotta do you, send a shot into you. This is Black Love, Brown Pride. Shaka Zulu meets Montezuma. It wouldn't be.
Legacy, redemption, history, growth, triumph. These are all terms associated with Summer Madness 13. Each of them have had a journey, a story, and stakes in their SM encounter. I'll do my due diligence in dissecting each of theirs. Shotgun Suge. In his encounter against Fonz, Suge is once again trying to showcase why he's the most electrifying big stage performers that battle rap has to offer. While he's taken a slight bump this year with his battle against Shuni, he has ultimately maintained the demand and the praise from the fans. Coming off one of the greatest years of his career, Suge is looking to not only maintain his momentum through the year, but he's also trying to solidify his role as one of the perennial gatekeepers of the culture. Moreover, Suge is focused on showcasing his progression as a writer, and he's putting his pen to the test against another gifted lyricist in Fonz. After having Performance of the Night and Body of the Year in last year's Summer Madness, Suge will give his damnedest effort to deliver another great performance in the Summer Madness history books. Fonz. Each year, Fonz has made a leap in progression, status, and skill. With the slew of top-tier names, great runs in Ultimate Madness tournaments, and facing his puncher cohorts like Danny Myers, Mac Myron, B Magic, Rum Nitty, O-Red, and so forth, Fonz has been more than battle-tested. However, the one thing that still troubled the ascending talent is his difficulty in fully transitioning into a sufficient big stage performer. While he showed promise in his Rum Nitty encounter on a sizable stage, it doesn't compare to the stakes and pressure of Summer Madness. On last year's SM, Fonz showed inconsistencies in his battle against Danny Myers. The task will only get harder going against one of the best big stage performers on the biggest events ever. A win over Suge not only washed away the doubt of his ability to perform in every environment, but it may also be his final coronation as a top-tier talent on the URL roster. T-Top. After a rough 2022, T-Top has returned with a vengeance this year with good performances and wins to gain traction. In his first SM in the last 3 years, T-Top is not only looking to add another win to the record on the year, but he's looking to show why he's one of the greatest battlers in the culture still. In doing so, he's taking on John Noane, a man who's known to be the most well-balanced battlers in the game. In a rematch of their one-rounder, T-Top has improved tremendously in the last 9 to 10 years, and looks to be another prominent name in the sport. It is also important to note that this battle is in Houston, a place where T-Top has struggled in the last couple appearances. One can assume that T-Top is confident in what he has for his opponent, especially since he's returning in a place that gives him fits. The warrior mentality of T-Top will make him or break him in this battle. Only T-Top knows what he has to offer in his 6th SM appearance. Another element to consider is T-Top's motivation and desire to prove that John was never better than him in any era. John Noane. After a year off of battling, John has tried to return this year to get back on track. Battle by battle, he's gotten closer and closer to the dangerous form he was in prior to his departure. This is simply a battle for redemption. His last SM appearance was one of the most damaging losses of his career. What better way to get back on track than to return to another SM in Houston and beat a battler that has been on a hot streak. Alongside this, John has gone on record to say that he influenced the style of his opponent. Knowing his competitive nature, John will put up a valiant effort in displaying the difference between himself and another high-caliber battler. Welcome back, John. DNA. After a 6-year hiatus from one-on-one competition on Summer Madness, DNA has reached the best run of his career. DNA will want nothing more than to outperform everybody on the card against Jerry West, especially since he's been aiming for Jerry West since last year's SM. At this point, DNA is trying to showcase his greatness on a consistent basis against any level of competition. DNA prides himself on showing levels. With the respect he has for his opponent, he's looking to give Jerry West the toughest fight of his career. DNA has went on record to say every loss has been amplified because of who he is. With this in mind, DNA is trying to avoid all roadblocks in his journey towards a Lux encounter. Jerry West. Welcome to the show. Jerry West is making his SM debut at the best time possible. In URL's transition and evolution, they have been looking for new stars and new top tiers to take the mantle, and someone who has been knocking at the door a couple of times has been Jerry West. Since 2019, Mr. Top Tier before he got here has been on the cusp of making the leap to a superstar with clashes against Chess, John Noane, Rum Nitty, Shotgun Suge, Chilla Jones, Danny Myers, and Arsenal. However, Mr. West couldn't really stick the landing, even with the opportunities given. West would take time off to heal, and also reevaluate what needs to be done for him to ascend to the next level. In his return battle, he delivered one of the most dominant performances of 2022 against Lou Castro. Preceding this battle, he would call out Twerk, DNA, and Clips. DNA is the one that answered the bell. This battle is nearly a year in the making, and this is a moment that Jerry West has been inspiring for 8 years. This is one of the biggest opponents and one of the biggest stages he'll ever be on. While there technically aren't any final chances in battle rap, this feels like Jerry's final go-around to show he belongs with the elites. With all of this at stake, Jerry will probably be the best version of himself, and quite honestly, he has to be. New Jersey Twerk. While Twerk is known for some of his return battles, this is more of a return to form. The past 18 months have included one of the most consistent stretches we've seen from Twerk since he first appeared on the URL platform in 2016. This year has also been noteworthy because of all the great material and content he's provided. The only thing that is missing is a crowning achievement. Hollow the Don on Summer Madness fits the bill. Not only has Twerk missed out on the last 3 SMs, but Twerk hasn't had a big opponent since To Surf, and rightfully so. Now that Twerk is back in the green, I'm pretty sure he wants to do his best to remain there and patch up the holes in his legacy. Twerk has yet to pick up a clear win in the SM series, and that's one of the patches Twerk wants to address against a god tier opponent. Hollow the Don. Hollow is having one of the better years he's had in a while, which is very telling due to his legendary body of work. He's been a net positive in the last few years, but this year he's finally knocked the rust off and fine-tuned his style and content. He's putting on a master display on multiple leagues, RBE, KOTD, and soon-to-be GTX. Now he's gracing the URL stage once again, in Houston. He's known to take people when they are motivated and when they are at their hottest, not shying away from the pressure. Hollow is standing in front of the deadly competitor, New Jersey Twerk, on Summer Madness. Hollow has taken nothing but legacy-defining battles since his return. From Nitty, K-Shine, DNA, Kichigati, Averb in a rematch, Ill Will, and Sharon. Now he's adding another megastar to the catalog in another high-profile matchup. It's safe to say Hollow has caught his second win and is looking to show his greatness regardless of a generation. A win over one of the most electrifying battlers there is not only provides an emphatic statement for his resurgence, but it might make us revisit the GOAT title we placed on him several years prior. Tay-Rock. Another battler who has similarly caught a second win is none other than Tay-Rock. His production and activity has reached its highest ever in the past 2 years. His love for the game is unmatched, but with all the opportunities he's given to up-and-comers, it's only fitting to give an opportunity to someone that used to be on his home front. Tay-Rock doesn't have much to prove, but he does have a desire to show that he's the best ever in the ring. With arguably one of the most decorated resumes, Tay-Rock is looking for another all-time fight in Nav. As the ringleader and face of Cave Gang, Rock always had an understanding of the potential and hunger Av possessed. With that understanding, Rock wants nothing more than to prove that he's better than Av. 6 years prior, I remember Hollow giving Tay-Rock a look on SM, them delivering a classic battle. Now it's time for Tay-Rock to do the honors. Av. After a couple years of scratching and clawing his way to god tier opportunities, Av has finally made it. The biggest battle, the biggest opponent, and he's a part of his first SM headliner. For Av, these opportunities come far and few in between, but the stars align and he's been granted the opportunity to cement his legacy amongst the elites. Av has gone on record to say that Tay-Rock is his GOAT. That is a fair indication that Av will be the best version of himself in a battle where he can defeat the top guy and showcase his greatness. Win over Tay-Rock on SM opens up a plethora of other big opportunities down the line. If things go in Av's favor in this encounter, many of the top names in the culture can no longer avoid him.